We're going to go ahead and move on to our 6.4. Consideration of a letter of commitment for the Enhancing Wildfire Prevention through Targeted Defensible Space and Fuels Reduction Project in Lake County's high-risk Clearlake and North Shore neighborhoods, project of the Lake County Resource Conservation District, CAL Fire Wildfire Prevention Grant number 788-73218. Supervisor Pyska, this looks like you are the sponsor for this, and I see that we have Terry Loxton here as well.
I am the sponsor, but I'm going to pass it off to our Chief Climate Resiliency Officer, and I think that we've got Resource Conservation District on Zoom as well.
Correct.
Julia Sullivan?
I think John is on, I'm not sure.
John?
And John Vandervoort.
Okay.
And Deanna Fernway. So thank you, Board. Terry Loxton, Chief Climate Resiliency Officer. I'm here today to present for your consideration a letter of commitment that would be written to the Lake County Resource Conservation District. And we're really excited about this project, or I know I am, because when funded by CAL FIRE, it will complete defensible space implementation on at least 100 lots in the North Shore area, including targeted fuels reduction on approximately 45 abandoned tax default properties and paper lots that pose a long-standing and intractable wildfire risk to residents. Complete defensible space implementation on at least 100 lots in the city of Clearlake, focusing on the densely vegetated avenues or Chapman Tract neighborhood. Serve as CEQA lead for proposed fuels reduction activities. Treatments will focus on properties located within the very high fire severity zone and prioritize connectivity with critical evacuation routes wherever possible. And then we have two different types of events. So the first one is it will give funding to the Lake County Sheriff's Office of Emergency Services to deliver Operation Lake County Ready, a bilingual public education campaign that will feature open firehouse events, so at each of the fire districts. And then North Coast Opportunities will bring that all together and hold a one-day summit with panels focusing on home hardening, the staff that is with NCO that is on the call will talk about that. So we're very excited, and we hope that your board will support this grant application by the Resource Conservation District.
All right. Any questions from the board? Supervisor Sabatier?
So I appreciate that there's not any specified properties and that it's working with the communities to figure out what's best and what's needed for both the North Shore and for the Clearlake area, and that it's such a diverse number of properties, which will have a greater impact, in my opinion, and spreads out the issue that I have with gifting of public funds to others. One of the things that I just want to mention, and it's not anything that's needed to discuss, I just want to highlight it. We just had a conversation with Sonoma Clean Power. They have a legislation that opts people in automatically. We have other opt-ins that our schools are using, and I really think we need to look at changing the way the state law goes for right of entry, where if we're doing fire protection for communities and not just for one specific property, such as vacant lots and especially paper parcel lots, we need to change the laws to allow us to do, if you sign this and say you want to opt out, that's great, or else we're sending you a letter that opts everybody in to do this type of work. I think that it's a necessary tool, because this right of entry, especially for 100, that's probably going to be their biggest hurdle to this entire process. Appreciate that you're doing it, but I want to find ways to reduce the barriers, and just the fact that we had that Sonoma Clean Power conversation where we are automatically opting people in. Why can't we do that if we're lowering the vegetation and limbing up trees? We're not destroying, we're not tearing down trees, we're not tearing down buildings, we're just mitigating the potential for these fires and disasters from happening. And I just think that's a doable thing, and hopefully that can change in the future.
Thank you. That's an interesting idea. I hadn't thought about that.
All right. There's nothing else. I'll open it up for public comment.
Board of Supervisors, thank you guys for all being here today. I don't think that there's anything else on the agenda that could possibly be more important than this particular issue right at this point in time of the year. Thank you guys for putting this all together. and bringing it about, all the different agencies and groups that are working together, taking into account everybody's wants and needs. It really shows your ability to reach out into a broader spectrum as opposed to just being isolated here. So, well done. Thank you.
Thank you. Supervisor Sabatier?
If I may, thank you Supervisor Pyska for putting this on the agenda. I know there was some outreach when I was away, and I did not jump on this right away, so appreciate Supervisor Pyska for bringing this to the board. Since there was kudos being given, I wanted to make sure to direct it to the appropriate place.
And yeah, this is just a letter of support, so it's only the first step, but it speaks to what I was speaking of earlier with collaboration, as we spent years building the Risk Reduction Authority and investing in relationships so that we could get to this place where we are putting together a really collaborative, high-quality grant application. So hopefully we're successful with this.
So,
All right, so with that, I think we just need action, right?
Yeah, let me just...
Lloyd?
Mr. Chair, if I may, I want to check if there's any public comment in Zoom.
Oh. All right.
Okay. Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the letter of commitment for the Enhancing Wildfire Prevention through Targeted Defensible Space and Fuels Reduction Projects in Lake County's high-risk Clearlake and North Shore neighborhoods. Project of the Lake County Resource Conservation District, CAL FIRE Wildfire Prevention Grant 788-73218.
Second,
And Mr. Chair,
Lloyd?
just to authorize
And
the chair.
authorize the chair to sign.
All
still
right.
second.
So I still have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries 5-0-0. Thank you very much. And thank you for being on, and in case we had questions or anything like that, and thank you for being a part of this.